Why would you go to Herald again? Look, you have no ult, you have no flash. What are you gonna do? Stare
Yeah,
at them?
this is bot, yeah.
Yeah, you have to go both.
Welcome the Havoc.
Hola a todos, bienvenidos al canal. Hoy les traigo un video muy especial porque me coacheó uno de los mejores jugadores de Europa, Alois. Para los que no lo conozcan, es OTP Riven, ex pro player, y su contenido es más que nada educativo. Así que si saben inglés y les interesa la top lane, o al menos entender, ¿no?, el rol de un top laner, les recomiendo muchísimo tanto su canal como su stream. Como habrán visto en la intro, todo el video va a estar subtitulado y eventualmente voy a hacer un video explicando cada una de las cosas que me recomienda mejorar. En este caso dejé solo el análisis, no el coaching, para que puedan verlo seguido y ir viendo todos los temas de los que me habla, ¿no? Así que nada, cualquier duda que tengan me la dejan en los comentarios. Los invito a que se pasen por el stream en caso de que quieran recibir coaching gratuito. Y les dejo con este super video, super coaching que me hizo Alois, donde aprendí un montón. Así que estoy seguro que les va a servir un montón a ustedes también. Saludos.
All right, moving on to Mr. Juan.
Hi Alois, how are you?
Did I say Juan?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
good. Yeah.
All right, nice to meet you, man.
Same as well.
Let me get your vote over here. See, I'm excited to coach a challenger homie. And do you have any questions before we go into the vote or into the game?
No, not really. This game, the early game was easy, we could say, because the Volibear was permanently, like my Volibear, my jungler, was permanently on top side. But because of that, the Warwick ganked like bot lane the whole game, so they lost pretty hard, and I kind of struggled transitioning my lead into being able to carry the game. So
Okay.
I'd like to review the mid to late game, I guess.
Perfect. Also regarding setup, I see you playing Flash Resolve every game. You ever tried the Jack of all trades setup?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
tried it, but I don't know, it just doesn't work for me.
Okay, that's completely fine. Ultimately, what you're doing now is working, so never switch a working plan.
Okay.
But what I do like so much about Renekton in general, so I kind of contradict my own statement here, is the ability to have a lot of build diversity, right? But I also see you using it here, for example, to Mundo, where you're going for the Cleaver, Eclipse, Flavor, and King. So I feel like you're very aware of it, you're adapting it correctly, so I don't think there's anything to mention there. Okay, so let's see. Do you going to go over anything in the laning phase, or just kind of want to sift through it and kind of get to that mid-game spike?
I guess the Volibear, he said that he will gank on level 3, right? So I guess the correct play there is what I did, just letting the Maokai push.
Push. I
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the Volibear's doing a level 3 clear into topside gank, which is pretty risky, but I also like that you selected E and W. And yeah, then this gank is guaranteed. It's really good that you try and listen it as well. I would instantly ping your jungler away here, though. So this is really crucial. This guy has to go away. Sharing pretty much 2 waves here worth of XP is pretty much never worth it. It's too much XP that you're sharing here. Plus, if you don't push this out, you can just continue laning with this HP, right? And eventually, you'll be fine playing out the bounce. So you're in no trouble, and you deny the Maokai quite a lot of XP here as well. However, if you push this, you're pretty much back to neutral because he's going to be significantly higher in XP to you.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. Also like this teleport. One thing you can always do now with the new teleport is put your ward down before you TP, just so you get the better TP, so you ensure you lose no XP. But it's not really of a worry here. Okay.
Nice.
I like that you set up your ward as well first. And you're trying to trade with him heavily here. He has no items, so you have the longsword edge over him. Now after doing this trade, I think your job is to try and get it to crash ASAP, right? Yeah. Well, the Maokai kind of bounced it into you. We get ganked.
Yeah, this was my bad because I did see the Warwick, but I wanted to do a 2v1. I don't know why, but it clearly didn't work out.
Yeah, although I will say that your death is not as costly. It sucks that Warwick gets a kill, but you're not losing that much here because the wave will just push into you. Okay, Oh no, actually, was it not?
Yeah, I
Oh, it
don't
is a
think so.
freeze.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this is a really costly setback. Yeah, yeah, it wasn't pushing into you. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can say that, you shouldn't have done that, but ultimately it's not going to change anything long term for you, right? What is crucial to see is that this Maokai is level 5 now compared to you being level 4. And if we're talking intentions, so the one habit that we could potentially change is trading on waves like these. Because what do you want to happen with the wave state right now? That's perhaps a more important question. Because the way you approach this is you instantly AoE full trade in his wave, right? And
Yeah,
so
you're
now by
right.
default, the wave is pushing back into him again. And I
Mm,
think the goal you should have here is to have this wave push into you.
yeah.
But the trade was really good. So maybe in a different world you'd be able to get this crash. Yeah, I think here the trade intention with the AoE and the wave, I think that's the biggest blunder we did. And then yeah, we got ganked, but it's okay, not the end of the world. Let's keep going forward. You get some good trades here. Same thing here. We want this wave to push into us, right? So the more AoE you do on the wave, the harder you're gonna make that for yourself. Okay. Seeing the same intention here. See, I would play this way more passive. I would drag the minions like this and drag them into the bush and make this wave push towards me.
Yeah, you're
Because then
right.
he's going to be forced to walk up.
I'm definitely playing way too aggressive on the wave.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're AoEing the wave so much, so it's going to by default push back into him. So he is not even forced to take a single trade here. He can just stonewall you.
Mm,
And then you also don't crash the wave here. So what happens is you would want this wave to crash before this wave arrives, so that you can set up a system where he's forced to walk up again, right? But look, because you slow push here now instead, he's able to keep laning here, and you are unable to progress. And if we circle back, we've been in this position for the past 2 minutes. As you can see here, we've been here now, we've been here now, and we're still here. You had the choice twice to make it push back into you.
yeah,
Okay.
that's horrible. Yeah.
So this is why it's kind of a little bit harder to also progress in the 1v1. Okay, we get this. All right. Ultimately, you're farming really well, so that's good. And then Volibear can set up a dive with you here. Nice. Okay. So yeah, you dive there. I just want to take a look at the map set right now. It still looks pretty good to me. I think the game is very even, right? So it's completely fine. Your itemization, I think you're gonna have a better understanding of itemization on LinkedIn than I do. So I agree with the anti-heal here. And here you want to try and trade as much as you can. She might be dead. Oh, doesn't work. I like your discipline here instantly to back off too. And now it's really good to hard push this. Now I want to see how you play after this, though. If you recalls, then of course you keep pushing. But now I want to see you make this push back into you, force him to walk up. Maybe
Get prepared
or
for
you just dive.
disappointment. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's okay. See, the thing is, it's also a little bit unlucky that this guy just swirls with you. I think you can play this slower, but I understand your intention. I think the Maokai also does it perfectly here with the W, kind of not landing. The risk to reward here, I mean, you're aware that Warwick has a chance to be here.
Yeah.
Your flash is Maokai's flash. I do believe it's just more consistent here to make this wave push back towards you and play that way. But it's hindsight analysis. I don't completely disagree with this, but the second I would also see this mark, I just back off. You're playing into their hands here. Your Volibear is both side. I just wouldn't look for this. That's it. But again, it's kind of it's a split decision you made, and it's hard to coach you on this in regards of saying, oh, you shouldn't have done this. More so, the reason I don't want you to do this is because Volibear is both side right now, and Work is top side, and you're wary of it. And this Maokai has no options right now in the game. Because on next wave, if you make it bounce into you, you're gonna have ult, you're gonna have flash. This guy can't play, and because of those reasons, I would just take a step back right now to go 2 steps forward on the next wave. Just be a little bit more disciplined. That's all.
Okay, I fully agree. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, execution is fine, and now you have to teleport, which is fine again. How do you want to set up this wave state?
I mean, this is a slow push, so I guess I should. I don't remember what I do, but I guess I slow push this one.
Okay, you can slow push into hard push. I think that's completely fine, and then make it bounce into you. See if you can get some trades. Now this way, if you hard push, very good. You're also getting pretty close to your eclipse. Did we see Warwick bot side? We do. So I would want to use your E on the next wave, not these casters. I think this E usage is pretty poor.
Yeah,
This
I
E does
tried to
nothing.
I tried to dodge his Q. I don't know why, but yeah, I agree. It should have been better to use it on the wave.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking about here is you want to spike to your Eclipse ASAP, right? You need 975.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So a normal wave here grants you around 100 gold. This plate, if you remember, is very close, right? You're very close to getting this plate as well. So it's 112, 125 gold. And I don't know if next wave is a cannon wave or not. If it's a normal wave, it will grant you 100 gold, but you're also still getting gold from the game. If it's a cannon wave, you'd have 200 gold. So what I do here in your shoes, most likely, is since Warwick is bot, I would hard push this wave as fast as possible, take the plate under his nose, proxy next wave, which I believe is a cannon wave, and then recall and play with the Eclipse.
Okay.
That'd be my plan here. The faster you get the Eclipse, the faster you can progress again onto this Maokai, and also I'm just trying to get this turret ASAP. So I think we're slowing our game down a little bit here. You see how that plan would speed up your process like a minute?
Yeah, now that you mention it, I don't usually do that, like the proxy into buying an item, and I realize how much better that could have worked in this situation. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd speed up your gameplay immensely. You would have your item before the drops as well. You get this plate. There's no counterplay because you could have pushed that wave way faster. And yeah, it is a cannon wave, which would have granted you 200 gold plus 125 on the plate. You would have your Eclipse. Okay. We have 6 drops. Okay. I'll play by Maokai too. So you get the full turret. Alright. What is your plan right now on the map? We can see we gotta press tab.
I want to keep pushing top because both turrets on mid and bot are still up. And
Yeah.
the dragon is 5 minutes away, so
It's pretty much uncontestable.
mm-hmm.
I agree. Okay. Regarding itemizations, what are you going to go for next as well? I think this is kind of where you have to decide also for items already.
I will go for Black Cleaver.
Okay. Why?
Honestly, I didn't think about it. It's just a habit, I guess.
Okay, because I would say that Black Cleaver is going to slow you down so much this game. See,
Really?
the thing is, this guy is a non-factor in the game. Killing this guy again in Sideline is not necessarily going to change the outcome of the game. This guy will still be a nuisance in teamfight, try to press ult and W onto you. I think your goal is going to be to kill these 4 guys. See, you could go for Cleaver this game, and you could go for the tanky bruiser route, or I believe here you go for the more assassinate movement speed route.
Right.
So you're gonna sideline against either Maokai or Aurora here. If you have like a, I don't know, I just want to put up the option, right? Like a Yumus or something, it's gonna make you way faster on the map and have you way more chance to kill people like these. I'm not saying Cleaver is objectively bad here, but I will say that like the transition to Cleaver is gonna be relatively slow. And then after Cleaver, I don't feel like you spike that hard in Cleaver. You're going to spike then probably the third item, like a Death Stance, you'll spike really hard. So I just want to think about that now too. But for now, we don't have to make a choice yet. See how the game progresses. I think the merge is completely valid. And by the way, going top lane is a must, because if you go bot, you can't really progress. And I like that you're looking for mid lane roams here too. I would have perhaps... no, it's fine. You get the cannon wave. Yes, you're looking for these mid-game roams. I think you absolutely should. And then LG, you get the mid-plate. So far, I think you've only made correct decisions. Okay. Do you have a specific timestamp where you're perhaps curious about?
I guess
this might be a... Yeah?
No, go ahead.
So, when you want to push tempo on the side wave, if you want to make sure it crashes, similar to like laning phase, where you have to slow push into hard push, right? Sometimes it would be better to slow push this wave to allow this next wave to walk up maybe here to farm it. But if you hard push this wave, as you are right now, you're going to have to farm this wave like maybe here, which is really tricky.
It's not going to crash. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to gain tempo on this side lane, you should slow push into hard push to get like consistent tempo and get both waves in and make it bounce. If you want to get quick tempo because you want to go to another lane, like you want to go here, then you should push one and leave.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what you do. You just push one. But you see now you can't really push the second one. Because you hard pushed the first one. Okay. And sorry I interrupted you. You were going to say something earlier a little bit too?
No, I don't have a specific timestamp. I guess the game got really hard in minute like 25. And I didn't really know what to do.
Yeah. Let's see. I dislike the TP intention here. I think this TP is terrible. So
Okay.
the thing is here, the fight just happened. Nearly everything on the map was used, right? And they're seeking to utilize their tempo into the Herald, by the looks of it.
Yep.
Now, you have tempo over your opponents because you're recalling faster, and Aurora's dead. Maokai's still on the map. He would have to recall before he makes a play. By default, I would TP bot lane here. Because you have no ult, you have no flash, your teammates have no ults. So what are the risks to rewards of taking a skirmish here and getting a good outcome? I don't know, but I would say it's below 50%.
Yeah, it's a complete coin flip.
It's complete coin flip and probably even a negative coin flip too. If you TP bot lane here, however, you're getting these waves and you're probably getting this tier 1 as well with the 6 rubs. Guaranteed. So just based on potential outcome, I would always TP bot lane right here. And you're expanding your lead this way as well. This, like, if this fight goes wrong here, you might lose the game right here for yourself.
And it went terribly, yeah.
Okay. So I think over anything else here, those fights are completely risky. It went horrible. Your jungler died. And look, you're missing out on all these items in bot lane now too. Okay. I would say this is probably one of the biggest points in this game. Like, after this, I think you're going to have very few moments where you can make things count. Because you have no TP right now, you have no flash, so it's going to be really hard to get tempo on the sideline and do anything proactively.
No, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Like, I knew I had a lead, but at some point I lost it. Now I realize it's that, yeah, that TP sucked.
Yeah, and also, where should you path right now? Where should you be at? Why would you go to Herald again? Look, you have no ult, you have no flash. What are you going to do? Stare
Yeah,
at them?
this is bot, yeah.
Yeah, you have to go both. So you see here, you're defaulting into, with the past 4 minutes, if we sift through it, we have this skirmish. This comes in at like minute 15, right? And minute 15, you have 131 CS. Now, I have been doing the same thing for the past 3 minutes. That was your lead. The last 3 minutes, we got 3 farm, yet 1 CS per minute.
Yep.
That's where you lose the game for yourself. Because right now, so the thing is, especially the higher elo you go, the transition from your laning phase to mid to late is one of the most important decisions, because you can get so much snowball potential from that, right? Like, the League of Legends is such a snowball heavy game right now, and it's super catered to mid game team fights, especially around the minute 20 mark. But if you lose so much tempo on those 3 minutes, it's gonna be really hard to get back. And now you're farming top lane again, but you can't progress here. You're never able to hit this. And yeah, I think if we scope through this, potential tempo, this, it'd be somewhat of a different game already. And you would maybe be 150, 160 CS right now, maybe even higher. Right? So you'd be in a better spot. Also, we press tab right now. I think this game is just in a hard losing position. You're on mid wave again. And the thing is, Maokai is literally stronger than you in team fights right now.
Yeah.
Because of his amount of CC. This guy's stronger than this guy. Your Zed is actually fine, but he would probably just want to look for picks and side lanes. And yeah, I mean, this bot is really strong too. So I also dislike your intention of wanting to team fight so much. I'd be trying to get myself stronger through side lane, and that whether I either have a really big item spike, or I have numbers advantage, or I get a good flank with flash. That's the only time you'd see me group. But I've been seeing you group permanently. Remember, you had 130 CS at minute 15. We're 140 at minute 18.
Oh my god.
So now the skirmish went good, and we can say, yeah, nice. But it's complete flip, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're finally bot. This is really good to see. You're close to your cleaver as well. Okay, and I like that you instantly recall. Perfect.
Sorry, what would you have built instead of Cleaver?
I think Cleaver is fine this game. See, the thing is, what I've been finding with Renekton is that it just kind of feels awkward sometimes to go into the Bruiser build because it feels good mid game, but it feels so shit late game. So I've been liking the build where you go like Eclipse, probably Cleaver in this instance too, yeah, because of their top side having double tabbies as well. And then I would probably want no, in this game state, I would definitely go for this. No, I would have gone the exact same build you're going. Because you have Merc Treads, I would go Death Stance. Okay. I think right now you have no options in the game, by the way. It's very hard to do anything. Bots you want to stop at 20 minutes. They have the Atekan. I think they have 3 dragons as well. You're forced to perma group up. I think there are nearly no options for you left in the game.
Yeah, the second I threw my lead looking for fights in mid and Herald, it became really difficult.
Yeah, I rarely, like genuinely, 10% of my games consciously contest second Herald, because if I'm able to gain a tier 1 turret bot lane and 3 side waves whilst enemy team gets Herald, I already favor that. The only time where you'd see me skirmish the Herald is if it is still important for feats of strength. And even then, I'm often not contesting it.
Okay.
So yeah, I just I'm not a big enjoyer of contesting Herald, especially because the thing is, it just generates nothing on the map. Like it's just like maybe the Herald. It's a conditional neutral. Like when you get a dragon, it gives you a permanent buff. With Herald, maybe you'll get a good usage, right? I just don't like the consistency of a Herald, and so by default, I don't think it's that important of a neutral for a top laner to play for. If you can guaranteed get a turret, I would say that's more valuable than potentially getting a turret through a Herald. Like the instance we had in the bot, especially also if we have our stuff on cooldown. So yeah, I already think the game is just too hard to play.
Okay.
Yeah, the only place you really have right now is going, of course, through bot side and hoping you'd get a good team fight. But yeah, your team just loses 4v4 permanently. You have to hold your teammates' hands. It's so hard to play. Yeah, do you have any remaining questions?
No, not really. I never do that going into bot lane when Herald is up. So that's really good. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I could show it for everybody too. It's just like completely different too. But today at a game, I think it'd be interesting to showcase as well, because those neutral objectives, especially in mid game fights, people overestimate the importance of them. And this game, let me see if we can get the example. So here, I'm actually kind of behind to the Jax because I've been weak-sided the entire game. And let me see if I can get this frame correct, just so everybody can see where we're at. So you see here, this game state that where I'm like dead even with the Jax here, right?
Right.
And CORRIGE, Atakan is bot side now. It's actually not a Herald, Atakan. It's a similar important objective somewhat to, I would say this is maybe even more important than Herald, right?
Mm-hmm.
But look, I see that Atakan is bot in tier 1 low HP is top. And so there's a lot of things or possibilities here on the map. The game is kind of even. And in the next minutes, we get one pick here on the Misfortune. And similar to you, I've used my Flash and my ult. And so now the first thing I do here is we're going to try and hit it, but enemy team's going to try and defend. And I'm going to run into top side. This can do two things. Jax matches me and defends me, or enemy mid laner, and nobody can play for this. My team could maybe play for it then. Because Misfortune is dead and somebody has to defend top. Right? So then my team is 4v3. But enemy team, so see what happens is I'm going to go top lane. And nobody can test me, and enemy team is going to play for Atakan, and I get, in the meantime, my teammates die, here one person die, I don't really care, I got top tier 1, I got top tier 2, I get this wave soon, and they end up getting the Atakan, but they trade kills, and I get mid tier 2. So I just played for objectives and farm around the map, and now, basically 2 minutes later, I am nearly 3 items, and 2 minutes ago we're even, he fought for the objective, I got 3 turrets in the meantime, game over.
That's
I win
insane.
the game from this position.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this is an extreme scenario, but similar for Herald or even Atakan, I don't care about it as much if I can get like an exuberant amount of resources on the map, and especially amplified when I don't have flash or ultimate. I will pretty much never join a team fight. Okay.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah, I will cut the recording here and wish you best of luck on your climb. But ultimately, you're doing a lot of things correct, so keep up with that too, man.
Thank you, coach.